And welcome to quarter three, week three. Let's go in quarter three, week three. And as you can see, the objectives are to know all relationships of the angles formed when parallel lines are cut by a transversal. We'll talk about what that is. Know the definition of congruency and state triangle congruency shortcuts and write congruency statements from triangle problems. So, of course, there is the Phoenix flight and the notes, just like usual. There are the exemplar notes in there in case you need them. Let's check out lesson one. So, lesson one, we'll talk about parallel lines cut by a transversal and the angles that form there. Here are the objectives of that. And down here are just some examples of what alternate exterior, interior, and corresponding angles are. For the assignment, you'll have to explain how you know corresponding angles are congruent. And you'll just have to find certain angles when given a value. This one's a little bit more difficult because we've got a set of parallel lines here, we've got a set of parallel lines here, and then we've got a transversal that cuts through both of them exactly. This is just going to be a proof. It's your standard two-column proof. So here's a statement. These are all the things. This is the proof over here. And these are all the reasons that you know that these things are true. So when I say angle 1 plus angle 2 is 180, you have to give one of these reasons why we know that. Why do we know that angle 1 and angle 2 equal 180? And so on as this goes. So here's the proof, and you have to provide the reasons for how we know these things. Lesson 2 is an intro to congruent triangles and what they are and all that jazz. Lesson 3 is an introduction to triangle congruency shortcuts. So there are shortcuts that you can take. It's kind of a minimum amount of things that you need to know in order to say two things are congruent. So here they are, and here's a video talking about them. And then down here, these are kind of proofs for that. Why does having three sides let us know that it's definitely congruent to this? Why does having a side angle side let us know it's congruent to this? Here's where you can look into that stuff. In practice too, you're just going to be using those shortcuts. Answer a few questions on these. Here are some triangles. Do we know they're congruent or not? Make sure you're following all the everything that it asks, because it asks you to list all the congruent parts and stuff as well. State which congruency theorem. Write a congruency statement. For lesson 4, we're going to talk about why side-side angle does not work. It seems that all the other ones work. Why side-side angle does not work. We'll talk about that, and then you'll just have to explain it real quick in the assignment. Just one question. Explain why it doesn't work. And I'm sorry to say that there are no selected answers for this week. There just weren't really any that I thought really needed an explanation or warranted me providing those answers for you. So those will kick back up next week.